especially Qatar, they give me lots of food for thought. And I think that at the end of the day, it's no coincidence that we're sitting here mayors of Central European cities, because at the end of the day, my friends are much younger than I am, so I remember communism, but somehow we have it in our DNA. Why the Western Europe was so afraid of the Polish plumber? He doesn't only exchange the broken part with a new one, but he can fix the problem, and he can also do your electricity. So fortunately, we in Central Europe, we know how to deal with problems, but sometimes we have to know it. And it is true that it's not just a question of money. And it is also true that we have very different situations that we find ourselves in. So for example, Budapest, Warsaw's budget is almost 6 times bigger than Budapest's. And not because we're 6 times bigger, because our system is based on more definition of power. And of course the populist government wanted to change that, but they didn't succeed. But the expectations are exactly the same. And of course also the European rules are exactly the same. Imagine that the recovery fund is working in Croatia, has been working in Croatia for the past 2.5 years. It was just unblocked in Poland because the rule of law procedures have been closed later. It hasn't been unblocked in Hungary. Why am I telling you this? Because there's just completely different situations in all of our countries. Now, it is true that there is a certain conflict between being, of course, ambitious and then at the end of the day, doing it on the ground. What's more, people like to be very ambitious, and now I'm going to say something which is a bit controversial, but when it comes to changes in their immediate neighborhood, they're much more cautious. So, I mean, yeah, fantastic, let's plant trees, but maybe not in my backyard, because I'm used to taking my dog out. Which of course also produces quite a lot of problems. Developers, they draw these beautiful pictures of green lands and infrastructure and so on and so forth. And then they build a building and everyone is just looking around, greenery, no infrastructure. And then of course people ask us, where's the infrastructure, where's the greenery, okay? And then it turns out that there's no greenery because the place next to it is also owned by the developer who wants to build houses, and so on and so forth. And people are saying, oh, you should protect this. This is a fantastic place, it's wild and so on and so forth. And they write petitions, they say I'm a terrible guy that I just pretend to like the environment and so on and so forth. But it's private property. I don't have 200 million euros to buy it off from the people who own it. Because, how can I protect it? Even if I do zoning rights differently, then I have to pay them if I appropriate their property. And it is true that at the end of the day, it also touches upon public consultation, because we were supposed to talk about this. I mean, if we do public consultations, and we should, by all means, and we are very, very open to that in Warsaw, we invite people, we had a citizens panel on energy efficiency, which means that we are actually bound by what the people have decided. It's not just an advice. We actually decided to do a citizens panel which is binding. But then a lot of people get involved, but a huge majority doesn't. So for example, on energy efficiency, but same thing happens in the citizens. We have the citizens budget, participatory budget, and it's pretty big in Warsaw. It's more than 50 million euros. So you can do quite a lot of projects. The only thing is that the people who want to change their neighborhood, who are active, get involved. 90% or 95% of the people do not get involved. So then they do a project, and then everyone else is waking up. And they say, oh, we don't like that project. Seesaw for children, fantastic. Not in front of my house.